In today's video, we're revisiting something we've tested in the past. What happens if you take all of the moisture out of soda? Specifically, is it different from regular soda, soda made with cane sugar, and soda made with artificial sugar? Guys, a while back we did a test where we tried to take Coca-Cola and we dehydrated it. We put it in our homemade dehydrator and we let it run for several days. The result we got was a sort of thick syrup that was a very concentrated flavor. I had several people request in the comments something like this, that we try out using Mexican Coca-Cola, which is supposed to be made with cane sugar rather than high fructose corn syrup. Here's the basic idea. We've got normal Coca-Cola, Mexican Coca-Cola, and Diet Coca-Cola, and we're gonna compare all three by heating them up, dehydrating them, and freeze drying them. This particular comment from YouTube user Use a Zebra also suggested that we try dehydrating our Coca-Cola in low pressure, or freeze dry. Well, we now have a freeze dryer, and I did think it was a cool idea to test the difference between the high fructose corn syrup and the cane sugar types of Coca-Cola. And while we're at it, I also got some Diet Coke. I've got some frying pans and we can try heating them up on a stove. That'll be a really quick way to try and get all the moisture out. We've got our dehydrator, the homemade Dehydratron 5000, so we're gonna try all three types of this soda using those methods. The American Coke has high fructose corn syrup, the Mexican Coke has cane sugar, and the Diet Coke has an artificial sugar called aspartame. We are also going to do some side-by-side taste tests to see what the difference is between all these, and in fact, we're going to see if I can taste the difference between these two if I don't know which one I'm drinking. Standard Coca-Cola. Okay. This is a bottle opener, right? Mexican Coca-Cola. I'm not sure if those tasted differently or not. Diet Coca-Cola. I don't know, to me that was pretty similar. Oh, except I'm now getting the aftertaste from the aspartame in the Diet Coca-Cola, so that's something that I find particularly unpleasant. So first, we're gonna put these in identical frying pans, same amount of liquid in each one, and we're gonna see what happens to them as we boil off all of the water. Here we go. This is our standard Coca-Cola. Got it on the stove, and the stove is set to high. Let's see what happens to this. I've got two more frying pans, so we're actually just gonna leave whatever's left in the frying pan so we can do a side-by-side comparison of all three. Pretty crazy, as the water boils off and gets more concentrated, some of these bubbles are getting really big. Like, I've seen bubbles that are 3 or 4 inches in diameter before they pop. I actually thought that I would see less and less of the bottom as it boiled. I thought maybe it would form more of a skin or coating on the bottom, but I'm seeing through to the white pan more and more as the water boils off. And there's less volume, so that makes sense. I just hadn't quite anticipated what it was gonna do as it boiled. It's been about 7-8 minutes going, and I'm smelling just a little bit of burning. Okay, regular Coke finished, Mexican Coke on now. Think about where we stopped the other one. There's no more steam coming off of it. Well, we've got one more pan, one more type of cola. Our Diet Coke is, I think, just about finished, and it's behaving much differently than the other two. Since it doesn't have any real sugar in it, it really is reacting differently. Before we were getting bigger and bigger bubbles, and then it started finally dissipating away, but we still had quite a bit of material in it. This is now dried up, and I'm frankly just baffled by what I see here. This is super weird, and not what I expected at all. I thought we were gonna have something like the other two. This is super surprising. I did not see this coming. I had no idea this was gonna happen, and so let's talk about what did happen. The first two, one which has plenty of high fructose corn syrup and one of which has plenty of sugar, really left quite a bit behind. The high fructose corn syrup, this is kind of interesting. We have a very thick liquid here. It is still liquid. You can see I can push it around really easily. The one from the sugar, I push it and then it just sort of stays where I left it. Whereas this, I push it and then it just puddles immediately. The high fructose corn syrup has a liquid sweetener in it, whereas the Mexican Coca-Cola has a solid sweetener, cane sugar in it. And so when we extract all of the extra liquid, what we're left with is liquid over here and not so liquid over here. Very surprising to me though is the fact that the Diet Coke ended up with almost nothing. There's so little left. All right, taste test. Concentrated and possibly slightly burned cola syrup. Here we go. Whew. Yeah, concentrated is right. Wow. Let's move on to the kind made with sugar. Pretty similar flavor. Similar to that one, I get a lot more of the tang than I did before. This one I think has also caramelized a little bit. There's real sugar in this, and I think cooking at that high temperature when all the water was gone, I started to get a little bit of caramelization. It's not bad. All right, I'm gonna try to lick the pan, see if I can taste anything. Oh man. Oh, that's so bad. These spots here where it's not just splatter, where there's actually like kind of a puddle, is very, very concentrated. Just get hit with a kick of that aspartame artificial sugar flavor. So that was quite unpleasant. It's really, really strong. It doesn't get to you immediately. So I was like licking it for a couple of seconds, really wasn't getting much, and then all of a sudden, just a wave of that flavor. I think we need to try a couple more things. We've got our dehydrator and we've got a freeze dryer. We want to put some of each of these into those as well. Let's get them set up. There, 55.05, that's close enough. All right, 55 grams of our diet, that's gonna do it. All three types of Coke have now been dehydrated and freeze dried, and the results are pretty fun to see. We have lost, of course, just so much moisture. Let's take a look. Our regular soda, this was 55 grams. At 7.4 grams, that means we've lost 47.6 grams of water. Let's do the same test with our Mexican Coke. I was pretty careful to make sure I had 55 of each of these, so. This one's 7.75, very, very close. We have 0.35 grams, very little difference between the Mexican and the regular Coke. Let's take a look at the diet. Just first, let's look at this cup. Like there is almost nothing in there compared to the regular, which is full of syrup. It is now barely registering. This is within like the margin of error of the weight between two different cups, 0.05 grams. Easily less than 1% of the mass is left after all of the water is removed from our diet soda. It's pretty crazy. I'm just gonna do a quick taste test of all of them. Here's the regular. This is with the high fructose corn syrup to start. Very powerful, similar to when we boiled it, although there's no burned taste to it, so it's a little bit nicer. Very sweet. It's quite tart. I like it actually. All right, here's the Mexican cola. Very, very similar. In my head, I think maybe it has more of a sugar flavor. That could just be a confirmation bias because I know it has real sugar in it, but it's got the cola flavor, it has the sugar flavor, it has that tangy flavor. It's very strong. Diet. Now, I'm not even sure how to taste this because there's really hardly any liquid in it. It looks like I scraped it off the bottom of a burnt pan. Let's see what this tastes like. Oh my gosh. Wow, okay, that is disturbingly sweet. Aspartame is approximately 200 times sweeter than sugar. Well, because there's not much in here, when I scrape up just a fingerful of this, I'm getting like 200 times the concentration of sweetness, and that is really powerful. There's a little bit of liquid and then a little bit of the solid stuff, and just scrape it off onto your finger and then...
Do I even want to know what this is?
It's literally freeze-dried Diet Coke. That's mostly aspartame.
I thought we were friends.
Isn't that like a kick?
It would make a really good candy if it was like an eighth of that sweet.
Try the Mexican one, because that's just actual sugar. That's freeze-dried Mexican Coke made with cane sugar. It's much more pleasant.
So this is mine now.
It's not bad.
No, I like this one.
Now we've also got the ones that we put through the dehydrator. And I gotta say, it looks like we've got pretty much the same thing going on. We've got some slightly runny syrups going on here. It's actually pretty thick. That may be the additional heat from the dehydrator as opposed to the freeze dryer. It may have burned off a little bit and even started to cook it a little. So I've got some flakes. This is our Mexican soda. Really sticks to your teeth a lot. Pretty much the same, yeah. It tastes like cola, a definite tang to it. Smell is not very powerful and it's not a liquid, so there's gonna be less coming off of it, so that's not too surprising. The regular soda made with the high fructose corn syrup is much more liquid. Being a liquid, it doesn't get as solid. And then we have our diet, which is just gone. There's residue down at the bottom, completely dried up. There's just nothing to it. I'm gonna add water until this gets up to 136 grams and see if it reconstitutes it all. I can already see it's getting a little bit of the color. Starting to swirl around a bit, pulling that color and flavor off of the bottom where it's turned into a solid. Let's try and encourage this a little bit. It looks like we've now pulled everything off of the bottom. Now I'm gonna give this a little taste and see how it tastes compared to normal Diet Coke. I think it looks a little bit lighter in color, but not much. This is a fairly thin layer on a reflective surface. It seems weak. Like it seems like it's missing a lot of the flavor. I don't know where that would have gone because it should have all just stayed down in here unless there are other chemicals that evaporate with the water in our Diet Coke. Diet Coke versus Mexican Coke versus regular Coke. A lot of people had been asking to see what would happen if you did it with sugar cane Coke as opposed to the high fructose corn syrup kind. And while it did harden up quite a bit more, neither with the freeze dryer nor dehydrating it did it fully turn into a solid. We can't turn this into a powder. I can dig my finger down into it. I can stretch it out. You can see that it forms these strings. So it's not something that's going to turn into a powder, but it does get closer than the high fructose corn syrup. Surprisingly to me, the Diet Coke actually does completely turn down into something dry and powdery. It's so concentrated that it's like almost offensively strong if you taste it. And then adding water back into it, I didn't really think it had all the flavor. Something got lost in there. And of course, it's not carbonated the way we mixed it up here. Guys, that's not all. We've always got more for you to see. That box up at the top is going to take you directly to our last video. You should go check that out. The other box is going to show you what YouTube thinks you should be watching next. Hit this bomb in the middle. You'll be subscribed to the channel. That way you're never going to miss a cool video. Don't forget to ring that bell, and we'll see you in the next one. Talk to you then.